Sheen Shot.
Yeah, boy.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Sheen Shots channel. Today, I want to cover the playable Trog in Outward Definitive Edition. Now, this has been in the game for quite a bit at this point, but two new Trog types were added for us to use, and they're pretty cool. If you're unfamiliar with this feature in Outward, you can take a green mushroom called the Common Mushroom and insert it into a legacy chest. Make a new character and use that chest as your legacy option. Upon spawning into the game, you will be a Trog instead of a normal character. Your Trog character has some different mechanics that make this more of a challenge run than anything else. Trog characters have the following attributes: can only equip and use spears and polearms. Their attack animation is different for both weapons. No regular armor can be equipped. Human armor, that is. Active skills or attack skills can't be used. Trogs can't wear a backpack, making carrying capacity a major part of this journey. Since those attributes are quite harsh, the playable Trog gets a few small buffs. Pouch capacity is increased from 10 to 25. Elemental resistance starts with 40 decay, but negative 40 lightning, since that's how regular Trogs work. You gain 3 Trog-related skills called Garg, Gurg, and Grog. Push Kick is the only original skill you can use for the entire playthrough. You can make use of passive skills still, but anything that makes a weapon or magic do some type of animation is out of the question. Let me quickly go over the skills of the Trog to give you some idea of how these work. Garg uses thick oil to throw toxic bombs which inflict poison. With enough thick oil, you can absolutely destroy enemy life bars, as poison deals a decent amount of damage over time. I probably use this more than anything else when playing as the Trog, as it's a fun skill, and remembering the pain of getting hit by a green Trog's poison bomb as a human made me want some payback. Gurg does exactly what a mana Trog is able to do. It sends a projectile towards up to 6 enemies and inflicts pain and confusion. This skill is extremely beneficial as a Trog because it gives you more physical and impact damage. The enemy becomes weaker due to your buffs, letting you have an easier time getting hits in without taking damage. It unfortunately has a 240 second cooldown, so make it count. It will also cost you 15 mana, which really isn't that bad since you don't have a lot of other magic options. Grog is awesome and will buff you and other allies with Rage and Discipline. It also restores 30 health, which often comes in handy. The cast time of this skill makes it useful before a fight or right after. Kinda hard to use it during, but it is possible. Oh, and try not to move much or the projectile will most of the time miss and hit a wall, which offers you nothing. Since Grog takes 300 seconds to come back, you don't want to be missing very often. Now that we have gone over the skills available to Trogs, let's check out the different armor. You will only be able to wear one Trog armor at a time, as it merely changes you into a different Trog rather than placing clothing on you. Also, there's a 0% chance that I pronounce these correctly, so let's just go with the colors to prevent me from making a fool of myself. The purple Trog will give you the appearance of a mana Trog. It can be crafted with any basic armor and a star mushroom. Switching to this before using a magic costing skill is very helpful, as you gain negative 50% mana cost and 0.1 mana regen per second. Obviously, getting your mana back is pretty useful as a Trog, but this set offers something even better: 50% extra damage to Ethereal. So the Dreamer Halberd does crazy damage with this on. Unfortunately, you're very weak with no major resistances, and 0 impact resist keeps you from blocking long. If you run 2 Trogs in co-op, this guy makes a great support class. The red Trog will give you great physical defense and can be crafted with any basic armor and a blood mushroom. You gain 10 protection, 50% damage resist, 60% impact resist, and a 25% physical damage bonus. You're going to survive a lot more hits with this Trog, and it also lets you block very well, which helps for harder enemies. Enemies that use very little elemental damage will have a hard time cutting down your health in this armored up outfit. You become a heavy defense Trog who can get more carefree with combat. The blue Trog offers damage and impact. It can be crafted with any basic armor and a wool shroom. These mushrooms can be found easily in Endmerker Forest, on the trees near or in town. Gargargar offers 33% physical resistance, 33% impact resistance, and 60% physical damage. You also gain 25% more impact damage as well as a nice 10 extra pouch capacity. The extra pouch is pretty great to have as you only start with 25 pouch, and we will take all we can get. The armor itself is high risk, high reward. You take a good amount of damage, but you deal a lot back. And staggering your opponents is the easiest with this guy. You aren't really that weak to physical, but it is nowhere near as good as the red Trog in that department. 60% damage bonus though. That's kinda crazy with certain weapons. The green Trog is my personal favorite and is built around poison. Craft it with any basic armor and a grilled mushroom. Just cook one green mushroom and you get one of the better Trog armors. This one is so great because it offers complete immunity to decay and increases your decay damage by 100%. Remember those oil bombs we talked about earlier? Yeah, those demolish enemies now, and it's really fun to watch their health bars be sucked away while you run around them in circles. We also get 15 pouch bonus with this guy, and I usually end up wearing this one just to carry more stuff. Defense is a major issue here though, as physical attacks cut you down in only a few hits. Tons of damage over time, but you're a glass cannon of sorts. The Caped Trog, or GoGo-Trog, was added into the game with Definitive Edition. This guy is very unique and makes you look like one of the unique enemy Trogs added into the game. Craft it with a Nightmare Mushroom and any basic armor. These mushrooms are pretty easy to find as corruption is in nearly every dungeon. The Gogo-Trog is built around one simple thing: speed. This armor offers nothing except negative 20 stamina cost and 17% extra movement speed. Trogs are already pretty fast, but this extra boost makes you sprint around the map like a madman. It looks really funny, but is extremely useful for getting around. Trogs need to use more potions than anything else, and it makes farming items a little bit easier. I would have liked a bit more pouch space than 5, considering he wears a backpack of sorts, but this is fun enough. You could potentially use this guy as a light source as well, but the speed really takes the cake for Mr. Gogo here. This purple Trog is much larger than the others and can be crafted with any basic armor and a sulfuric mushroom. Grab one from Caldera easily or near the burning tree in Ergagr'Uk Forest. Our giant Archmage Trog was also added into Definitive Edition and once again resembles a new unique Trog enemy. I think this might be my least favorite of the Trog armors, even though it looks so darn cool. We gain negative 40% fire and cold resistance, so many more enemies gain an advantage over you. We also gain a damage bonus to fire, cold, and lightning damage, which is nice, I can't disagree. Negative 35% mana cost is cool, but really, you might as well switch to the Mana Trog for a higher benefit. The Thrice Rod Halberd is great with this set, as well as the Warleg Spear. You would have some nice extra damage with those weapons, but again, the weakness to fire and ice would make you very wary of many enemy types. Scourge becomes simple, since lightning destroys them, so it does have a nice use there. Whether I like it or not, though, it doesn't matter. This armor is really cool, and it's there if you would like to use it. Trog armor is all impervious to breaking. They have infinite durability, which is nice, but taking damage isn't often an option to start with. Don't go into this without some experience with Outward. It's a more challenge run than anything else. Crafting every kind of potion is the key to success, and the small pouch space available will frustrate you more often than not. Try it and see how far you get. The running animation of the playable Trog will amuse you for some time, and some different combat is always welcome. Become a Trog and test your skill across Outward's many regions. Just hope you don't run into a lightning enemy. It almost always ends poorly for you. Thanks for watching the video. Consider commenting down below which Trog is your favorite, and I will catch you next time.